Hey guys, we're back in the kitchen today and we are highlighting a featured book this month for our whole series, and it's called Baking Yesteryear. We have a signed copy in the library that you can come in and check out, and the author is Dylan B. Hollis, and during COVID he took to TikTok out of boredom. He goes around and he picks and he finds old cookbooks, and he began doing TikTok videos highlighting recipes from the early 1900s moving forward by decades. So we've got some interesting recipes that are going to be fun that we're going to highlight each Monday in our Facebook and YouTube video series this month for October. So the first one we're going to feature is called Food for the Gods. And like he said, what does that even mean? So he went through several recipes out of several different old books, and he tried each one. And this is the recipe that he refined and came up with. So we're gonna make this. So the first thing you're gonna need is 3 nice eggs, and we've used Miss Martha at the library. We've used her Chicken's Good eggs for this, and I've separated the 3 yolks from the whites. And you want to be really careful because anything in here is going to cause your egg whites not to whip well. So I've put it in a deep narrow bottom bowl to be able to whip these egg whites, and you're going to whip them just with the whites in there for now. And you're going to whip them until they're stiff, and that means they stand up. The peak stands up on top of your beaters or even in the bowl if you pull them, and I'll show you as we go along. So I'm going to begin whipping, and you can see right away they get nice foamy bubbles in there, and they start to turn kind of white. This is what the egg whites look like after about 2 to 3 minutes. It's probably going to take a good 6 to 7 minutes to whip these up. Okay, we've got these egg whites where they're stiff peaks, they're standing up. So I'm going to begin to add my 1 cup sugar, and that's going to make it nice and shiny and thicker. So, and I'm also going to add a half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to add this in gradually. And again, we want stiff peaks. So as I begin to add that, I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. They are getting nice and shiny. I'm gonna mix it just a little bit more because my peaks aren't standing up totally stiff, but I've got that whole cup of sugar in, the half a teaspoon of salt, and as you can see, it's nice and glossy and thicker, and you can feel it with the mixer that it's gotten thicker. And the next step, as soon as I whip this a little bit more, we're going to fold in the half a cup of graham cracker crumbs, and you can buy them already crunched up in the box, or you can just use your graham crackers that you have at home. Okay, our next step, when we have nice glossy stiff egg white mixture, we're going to fold in a half a cup of graham cracker crumbs, and I'm not going to do it all at once. And fold literally means just turning the spatula over on itself, the batter over on itself. So that I'm not over stirring it and losing my light whipped consistency. Gently. Okay, I'm gonna fold in a half a cup of apricots that I've chopped up, dried apricots. And I'm gonna fold in a half a cup of chopped walnuts. So this is an interesting combination, and we're gonna get a nice light meringue consistency. And what we've done is we have used a springform pan so we can pop it out easily and not have to bang it to get out of the pan. And we've put parchment paper on the bottom of the springform pan and shaped it to the round bottom circle. Okay, I've got that folded. I don't want to over stir, and now I'm gonna dump it right over into my pan. And you want to have your oven preheated to a slow, rather cool oven. You're gonna do 325. We've preheated it, and it's gonna bake at 325 for about between 30 and 40 minutes. You want the top to be slightly brown, slightly golden. You can see how thick the mixture is. This recipe from his book is a recipe that was featured from the early 1900s. I moved mine. You got to be careful as you try to push this, press it into the pan. And I'm not going to press hard. I'm just going to move it to the outside of the edge of the pan a bit without over handling it. I'm going to try to get every last little bit in there. It's an interesting look of this batter. Okay, we are going to pop it in the cool oven, 325. We're going to come back in about 30-35 minutes and open the oven and let it cool till the oven is cool and it's cool. And that's going to keep it from being moist. It's going to allow it to dry with that oven door open and the temp turned off. Okay. Okay, we've taken it out of the cool oven, and it looks like this from the top. It's kind of crinkled. So I'm gonna gently, it's not gonna come out perfect, but that's okay. And I'm just gonna taste one of these pieces here. It has a nice crunchy but ooey gooey texture. Nice and chewy. A great flavor with the nuts. And let's get a little bit of a bigger piece so that we can taste the apricots. Now we put the parchment paper down, so it should be kind of easy to get out. We'll see here. There we go. I'm gonna grab me a plate. Push that on there. It's, you can see that it's got chewiness to it. It's light and chewy, nutty and fruity. Interesting dessert. You might not want to choose this if you want a pretty dessert to serve, but the flavor's divine. Food for the gods. Thanks for joining us.